So you're probably wondering the same thing. If you should trust this dump, is this the beginning of a major crash or a potential buying opportunity? Now, I've been telling you in the community, I've drafted this little thing here, which basically said that we're going to go back. Literally, the show was titled 3 days ago. This is what I'm looking for to open a Bitcoin trade. If you look back here, I said that we have to come back to 76,500-ish. Now, that did happen now. So Bitcoin was around up here, did happen. It's about a 2% drop, so nothing major, but it did happen, and we are now back to the 50% region on the 4-hour leg that created a new high, and this could potentially be a buying opportunity. Now, I'm looking for a specific signal to close my short. I actually did have this short position open. I'll let you know in the community as well. It's up about 50%, about 2 grand profits. So I am going to look for, closing that out potentially, or potentially taking a long position. We're going to talk about all that and more. If you don't know who I am, my name is 𝗏𝗏. I do these updates every single day. So they are 5 to 10 minutes, been here since 2016. I'm trading and I'm sharing my thoughts with you, so it helps you navigate the market. 22% if you're not subscribed. So smash the subscribe button, turn the bell notifications on so you don't miss anything. And thank you so much for hitting 40,000 subscribers. So that's amazing, amazing, amazing. So let's get going. Subscribe to the channel. So let me just look into this. So what I've been saying when the market was up there, I've been telling you, and this is again back to the show. I was telling you in this show that I do believe that we need to see a retrace down to the 50% for us to be able to continue higher. Markets always retrace 50%, so you can just take this Fibonacci and you can put it on basically any level you want. You can put it here, and then you see this retrace here, and then you can just pull it higher. Then you see this retrace here. So like, retrace 50. I think there was no retrace here, but ultimately markets always retrace 50. See, so there was no retrace here, but then there was the 50 continuation higher, and then if you pull it again, there was no 50 here. Oh, there was actually a 50% retrace here. Look at this, it's beautiful. It's actually beautiful. 50%, 50%, and now we have the 50%. So potentially I would be looking for another leg up. The question is, how do I time my entry? So I am in this short position. I'll let you know in the community. Now it's worth joining in, because when something happens, I can just simply ping you. When I took this short position, it was almost midnight. So I obviously can't come to YouTube, but I said I'm taking the short position, and that short position is printing nicely now. So basically the Pico top, if we're able to get it. But my reasoning for potentially closing this short out is if the trend decides to change. Couple of things to note. Higher time frame, 4-hour trend is up. Obviously, I just explained to you, so you see, you see these higher highs and higher lows, and that signals that we are going to go higher. That's one. The second, on the total market cap, the way these are designed, you have to come back every day. So the way I've been explaining to it's the drawing is still here. I do believe that we have to get back to the 50% on daily on the total market cap, which is about 2.67 trillion. So I would be looking at the last push, another 5% here, that could potentially be, so to say, the end of this bear market rally, which I think it is, and then a potential complete reversal. But it doesn't mean that we can't reverse from here and have a deeper correction. So what I'm really looking for, 4-hour trend is up, 1-hour trend is down. You see there is a clear break here, a market structure shift. There was a build up and a push above. The only reason why I do not necessarily think this is a very strong level is because there was no close below the previous high. So I would not consider this as like a very strong order block, even though it blacked through like massively. But I would not consider that as a very, very strong order block. I would say the initiation of the last move happened from down here. And then again, the 50% just being completed, we can see a push from here. Now, quite simple to identify this because we do have a very decent 1-hour level as well, although there is some imbalances above. But what I would really start looking at is the 15-minute chart. And if we get a close above here, if we get a close above on the 15-minute chart above 78,268, I am going to close my short position in a small loss or a break even. We'll see how that goes, and we'll potentially open a long position. This is what I'm actually looking for. Reasoning is super simple. There is relative equal highs, the total market cap, which signals that we need to go higher. The 50% retrace on the 4-hour has been completed. So if we are able, if the market is able to make a new high here, it will, if nothing else, at least liquidate these relative equal highs and then potentially reverse from there. We'll see how that plays out. But ultimately, that is what I am. That is what I'm looking for, and I think is going to happen. So I am waiting for that. I am still in my short position. So again, if there is no break above, what I can see happening, you always want to trade with the trend and just ride the train. So what I'm looking at is if we go up a little bit, London, New York, whenever that happens, I will add or open new positions as we come up. Again, I'm going to let you know in the Telegram community. Ultimately, this is what I am looking for, and then just add to the position. Target, first of all, target down here, like all the way down here to 75,000. You know, somewhere there. That's still a decent, especially if we retrace here, that's still a decent 3% move, about 4% move total from my entry. And then ultimately all the way down here to 73,900, somewhere here, which would still be bullish on the 4-hour chart. We'll see how that goes. And again, if that closes below, I do think, you know, I've been talking about it for quite some time. I do believe that there'll be boots on the ground as well. And if that happens, I do believe that this can just really start free falling, taking all this liquidity in no time. We have seen this happened previously, so I would not be surprised to see something very similar if you just pull this as a ghost candle and you look at this. I don't think we're gonna go down to 40,000, but I do think that this kind of fall, if you look at this happened in 8 days, 7 days. So I would not be surprised to see that simply play out, even though this grind has been going on for 90 days now, which is absolutely crazy. You know, wouldn't be surprised if this got taken out with a very, very impulsive candle to the downside, or candles to the downside. So this is what I'm looking at. I'm gonna keep you posted. I am not long in oil, although if I was to see an opportunity, I would probably take it. This is a clear, I think, I know that we long this, but then I got out because of all the uncertainty. We got like a 10% trade out of this. Actually, I think we longed it down here somewhere. Anyway, here. I think here, yes. Got a 10% move out of it. I'm not squeezing it no more. If we see something, the oil is already quite high. If I see a retrace here for whatever reason, potentially lining up with the bounce of risk assets and Bitcoin, I could be interested in taking a long position. Again, I'm going to update you about all this in the Telegram and of course here tomorrow. I also want to let you know about one more thing. Guys, I don't know how things go and what happens and why. Follow me on X as well. That's one of the best places you can find me. I'm going to start posting dedicated content there. I'm going to start posting charts, whatnot. So follow me on X and turn the bell notifications on there too. Much love to every single one of you. Join the Telegram, subscribe to the channel, follow me on X, and come back tomorrow. I will see you in the chat, in the Telegram channel, and I'll see you here tomorrow. Take care.